Hello, and welcome to Every Day is Funny, the meditative morning show about newspaper comics. You know, I'm going to start this episode as I do many an episode by recounting that I was taking a walk yesterday. And on this particular walk, I saw a very old couple walking. And the woman of the couple was way ahead of the man. And it made me wonder if they were arguing, because they were at such opposite spots in their walk. And then it made me think about, I never had a set of grandparents living on the same side of the family since I was born. So like a married grandma and grandpa. I never had that. And so I have no idea what elderly people argue about. And this was a very sad realization for me. Something I didn't know was missing from my life. And maybe I never saw the loving nature of an elderly couple either, but I think I'm more focused and interested in the arguing aspect. What do they fight about? How can an argument ever escalate to really dire circumstances? What could the problems be? And it fascinated me. The oatmeal is too cold. That's all I can think of. That the oatmeal is too cold. And so I think we need a 24-hour TV channel akin to CNN that just showcases the lives of elderly couples and the fights they get in. I think that'll help people developmentally to see how the old and wise navigate conflict. I know it would help me. We could either just have them aware they're being filmed and putting it in their house and stuff, or we Truman Show it. They would move slow enough where keeping a camera on them at all times wouldn't be too much of a challenge. But yeah, I just gotta know. I'm realizing, I'm trying to think of what a very old set of people would argue about, and I got nothing. It's such a blank spot in my library of knowledge. That's a shame. Alright, let's get to the comics. Alright, I'm gonna start with a comic that we've never done over a month in. And this is a biggie. And to my knowledge, no, we've never covered it. And that is Foxtrot. Let's take a look. Alright, in this early stage of our reading, I don't know the family members' names. But the dad is golfing with his son nearby. The dad says, "Don't hit it into the water. Don't hit it into the water." He takes a swing. We see the golf ball is on his hat. The son says, "You didn't hit it into the water. Good job." The dad says, "Hit it, but not into the water. Hit it, but not into the water." What? I'm very confused about this one, guys. I think the joke here is that earlier he said, "Don't hit it into the water," and I guess he didn't even end up hitting the ball because it's still on the ground. So now he's going from "don't hit it into the water" to saying "hit it, but not into the water." But the really confusing thing is that you look at the comic, yeah, the golf ball's still on the ground. He didn't hit it. But why is there a golf ball on his hat? I thought that was the joke, somehow the golf ball ended up on his hat, but I think that's not even part of this. I think that's just the accoutrement of the hat, which is baffling because it's a major part of the hat. This is not a side thing, this is the coup de grace of the hat, and no one seems to be talking about it, which I'm very confused by. I mean, really, look at it. And the kid's wearing a NASA hat, which, fine, no problem there. We love our astronauts, but it doesn't... Why? I don't know why that would be, instead of just a simple, plain hat. Why does every hat in this comic have to be a little off, but not part of the joke? I think this is a classic case of the author going, I gotta write Foxtrot again. I've done this every day for almost my entire life. How do I mix this up? I'm gonna put a golf ball on that hat, and I'm gonna make the kid like NASA. Just some character development to entertain myself after the many years of having to draw these same people. So I get that. But like, maybe how about a picture of a golf ball on a hat? Not a ball on a tee on a hat. Because obviously with my recounting of this comic, the joke, I don't even care about the joke or barely even remember the joke. What am I gonna walk away today remembering for the rest of the day? That kid was wearing a NASA hat and this guy had a golf ball on his hat. All right, let's check out Calvin and Hobbes next. We haven't covered this one in a while either. We see Calvin and Hobbes looking at a car wreck. A car has fallen into some sort of ditch. Calvin says, "My life is flashing before my eyes." Hobbes says, "Yeah, I doubt your parents figured you'd wreck their car before you were 16. Wow, we got Calvin taking joyrides now? They're just fully committing to, like, him being that reckless? Kind of surprising, no? Also, how has there never been a Calvin and Hobbes movie? It's gotta be caught up in the legalities, because that seems primed for an animated children's film. Sorry, off topic. Car in a ditch, yes. I'm glad he escaped unscathed, but this is really surprising to me that he goes to that lengths. Like, what is he gonna tell his mom? And we're never gonna see the repercussions of this, because in classic daily comic fashion, we move on and don't have a through line to our story. We don't see the consequences. But I do wonder, I'm just very surprised, Calvin. This makes me think of those decals on cars where Calvin is pissing, which I always thought was kind of a step up from his actual being, you know, kind of taking it and making him a bit more sinister outside of the world of the comics. But now I'm seeing, no, maybe that pissing Calvin decal is right on the money about this kid. I think Calvin needs to go to juvie. Do a little bit of hard time. If not only for driving a car into a ditch, for befriending a stuffed animal tiger who talks. All right, time for some Rex Morgan. For those who are just joining us, a kid named Parker is dealing with a bully who has been lambasting him for the entire day. All right, we're still in the middle of the confrontation. Headline: The bully won't let Parker pass. Yeah, we know. The bully says, "You want to get to your locker? You're going to have to go through me." Parker says, "Come on, don't do this. Just let me get my books." The bully says, "You want your books? Then make me move, you little coward." Parker says, "Oh geez, what did I ever do to deserve this?" Okay, I have said in the past that they're repeating situations and, you know, taking a long time. I feel like this is the first time truly they have repeated actual dialogue. If I'm not mistaken, the bully has said, "If you want to get to your locker, you're going to have to go through me." And so is this like a recap of that? Or is this bully so insane and out of his mind that he maybe forgot he said that 2 seconds earlier and is just continuing to say, "If you want to get to your locker, you gotta go through me. If you want to get to your locker, you gotta go through me." This is the most repetitive this comic strip has ever been. Like, how do I even dissect this? It is just the same dialogue. Go through me, make me move, just let me get my books. What did I do to deserve this? Like, how did the author not think this was too repetitive? This is insane. This is really bonkers. Because you know he probably writes these in like a cluster. So when he finished the last one, did he, like, what is his thought process? Just like, all right, we finished that. Again, he's confronting him saying, "You want to get to your locker, you're gonna have to go through me. How should I start this next one? How about, if you want to get to your locker, you're gonna have to go through me." How much longer can we possibly do this? I thought Corey was gonna come save Parker by this point, and it hasn't happened. They're reaching a stalemate. Neither listen, Parker is not in the wrong here at all, but neither kid is able to effectively communicate. They're just repeating the same things. Like, I do think there's some things that Parker could say to alleviate the situation. Just don't say some smart alecky stuff. Obviously, you're not getting out of this situation without being confrontational, Parker, so you might as well just go for it. What did you do to deserve this? You don't believe in yourself, Parker. That's the problem. And the problem is you have a new kid at school who claims to be like the top brass already and is just ready to bully anyone and doesn't understand he has no power. And none of the other kids in the school who yesterday were congregating around them seem to want to help, even though Parker is someone they all know. The new kid is being very abusive and they don't even know him. And yet this whole school is just insane. No adults are walking around, no hall monitors. Everyone's on their own. It's like Thunderdome. It's just a real shame. Let's check the comments. William Thompson has an interesting comment. He says, does the bully have a name? Is Parker the victim's first name, last name, or nickname? Why are we supposed to care about him? He's the acquaintance of the son of one of Rex's former patients, which makes him what, a quaternary character? He's just there so Beetee can look like he cares about a current topic. At the end, Rex will talk a lot without saying anything, and that'll be the end of it. Why not use Sarah here? Force Rex to get involved in a problem by making it personal. Does the Rex Spot's programming include higher level human behavior? Alright, I don't understand what that thing about Rex Spot at the end means, but William Thompson's right. We don't know anything about this situation other than surface level bullying, and so why are we supposed to care about any of this? It would make far more sense if it was Rex's child, so then the titular character of this entire comic strip, who we haven't seen in weeks, could come in, have a personal connection. He's also a doctor. If someone gets hurt, he could be there. But this is just existing in some other random part of the universe and has very little, maybe they'll connect it. But William Thompson's right. None of this is necessary, and yeah, it seems like maybe the author's doing it just to involve himself in the current climate of gender pronouns? I don't know. Let me think of what to write. Alright, because Parker once again mentioned getting books from his locker, my comment is going to be Parker saying, please just let me get my books. I just bought How to Kick a Bully's Ass, and I really think a quick skim through would help me greatly. Send. Alright. Time to wind down for this Monday, June 10th. I hope you have a wonderful start to your week. And remember, every day is funny.